Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we'll be discussing solid shapes. Solid shape. Solid shapes. We have discussed in previous classes plane shapes where we talked about square, rectangle, triangle, trapezium, some quadrilaterals and the likes. But today we'll be discussing solid shapes. Solid shapes. When we say, or let's say, let me put it solid, instead of saying shapes, let's say mensuration. Solid mensuration. Solid mensuration. It's better put as mensuration. Now, we'll be looking into what do we mean by this solid mensuration, where we discuss the surface areas and volumes. Surface areas and volumes of some solid shapes. Surface areas and volumes. Surface areas and volumes of some solid shapes. A solid figure is a shape whose sectional body cannot be always shown on a plane or flat surface. There are many of them, and they include cuboid, cube, cylinder, sphere, cone, pyramid, prism, and many more. Now, prism is generally used to describe a solid figure that has a uniform cross-sectional area about all the length. These include the aforementioned cuboid, cube, cylinders, pyramids, and all others. All these and others shall be discussed in this class, but we take it one after the other. Now let's begin with cube. 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 What is a cube? A cube has a 6 faces of equal dimension, 6 faces of equal dimension. This means that it has length, breadth, and height, all of which are equal to each other. So let's just give a sketch of a cube here, where we have this is assumed a cube here, where we have, let's say, this is the breadth. Okay, this is the, let's say this is the breadth. Okay, this is the length. Okay, breadth, length, and let's say this is the height. Okay, so, but you will see that all the sides, it is composed of squares. This is a square, this is a square, and we know that all the sides of a square are equal. All the sides are equal. So since the sides are equal, we say length equals to breadth equals to height. So definitely we need not to write h and b here, so we can change the length, breadth, height to length, length, and length. Okay, so we have a cube. So let's discuss the surface areas and the volumes of the shape cube. Surface areas of a cube, we will see that if we have concrete objects, which like a cubic sugar, we'll see that it has about 6 faces, and each of the faces is composed of a square. Each of those faces is composed of a square, and you know that the area of a square is L squared. This is a square. Let's say this is the area of this is L squared. The area of this also, since they have the same, the faces are the same. The area of this is L squared, L squared, L squared. Okay, we have L squared, and we have L squared. So we have about 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So that shows that each of the faces of a cube has area L squared. In that case, surface area of a cube equals 6L squared, because we have 6 faces and each face of a cube is made of a square, which its area is L squared. So, having discussed that, it means that we have 6 squares in a nutshell. 6 squares make up a cube. 6 squares make up a cube. Now, let's look at the volume of a cube. Volume of a cube. Volume of a cube. The volume of a cube is length times length times length, which is L times L times L, which is L cube. L cube. That is volume of a cube.